This is the colored Mushaf of Tajweed, probably one of the most popular and useful mushafs used by so many Quran learners around the world. It is mainly used to facilitate the application of Tajweed rules when reciting the Quran. However, what many people don't know is that it may actually cause problems to you as a learner if not used properly. So, if you've been using this mushaf or know someone who is, then this video is for you, and it is important. So, while the main idea of this mus'haf is great and really useful for beginners, some people don't properly use it, leading to negative consequences on their journey with the Quran. But how can you ever misuse a mus'haf? Well, the color-coded mus'haf works perfectly if you're starting to learn the Tajweed. It can help you identify where you should apply the rules that you are learning. This is its purpose. But what if you use it without any prior knowledge of Tajweed or without any plan to learn? The thing is, many beginners look at the number of rules they will learn and think, I'll just stick to this and get by. But would that really help them? Well, the short answer is no, not really. And not only that, it may lead to other problems like dependency, limitation, and confusion. Let's start with the first one to understand what is really going on and why there is nothing that can replace actually learning Tajweed to recite properly. When using this mus'haf, many people delay or even find it unnecessary to actually learn the rules of Tajweed and how to identify them, while the main idea of this mus'haf is to facilitate the application of the rules that you had learned, not to replace the learning process entirely. As a result, some people become too dependent on it to the point that even after many years, they are not able to recite correctly without the colors, let alone reciting from memory. But then, isn't the main idea to recite the Quran properly anyway? So why is this a problem? Well, this takes us to the second point, limitation. We only have so many colors that can easily be distinguished from one another. Therefore, this method had to combine different rules under the same colors. Otherwise, it would not be possible. The result is that some essential rules cannot be indicated, like tafkhim and tarqiq. The rule of iltiqa'u sakinayn is not mentioned at all or given any color. Some different rules are combined, like the different cases of idgham being combined with letters that are not pronounced. This shows the limitation of this method, but most importantly, only depending on this method without actually learning the rules or having any kind of background in Tajweed will not help you recite properly. Not only that, without actually understanding the rules, it may lead to confusion, which is the third problem. Confusion. Many Tajweed rules are flexible and situational, which means that pronouncing words may be different depending on whether you stop or you keep reciting. For example, the linking med in this position is marked orange to be extended for 2 counts like a natural med, but this happens only when you keep on reciting. If I stopped here, then it should be ignored. وَلَا تَكُونُوا أَوَّلَ كَافِرٍ بِهِ وَلَا تَشْتَرُوا. So it was not pronounced at all in my recitation. It is only pronounced if I keep on reciting. وَلَا تَكُونُوا أَوَّلَ كَافِرٍ بِهِ وَلَا تَشْتَرُوا. Now, if I don't know how to apply this rule, I might end up pronouncing it even when stopping, which is of course a mistake. Here's another example. The best name in this example can be pronounced in 2 ways depending on whether you start here or you kept reciting from the ayah before. قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ اللَّهُ الصَّمَدُ قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ اللَّهُ الصَّمَدُ. So how would you get past this ayah properly if you don't know the rule at all, or just depending on colors? Here is another example. Even though the mandatory stop symbol is used in this position, and so you must stop here, the tanween on the word mathala is grayed out along with the ya after it, given in green, indicating the rule of idgham, which then implies that these words could possibly be linked together. While the fact is, if we ignored the stopping symbol here and made an improper stop, it could actually change the meaning. So in this case, if you don't know exactly what you should do here, you might get confused because these two symbols kind of go against one another. So now, does that mean that this mus'haf is not good or we should not use it? Well, certainly not. This is not what I'm saying. It is actually very useful and can be used to your advantage. But the most important takeaway from this video is to know exactly what the main purpose is from this mus'haf. It is an aid to facilitate learning, not to replace learning tajweed and learning how to identify and apply each rule. It is to be used temporarily before moving to a regular mus'haf. Starting with this mus'haf is very motivating and can get you started very quickly, but staying too long with it may have more negatives than positives. So, if I'm currently using this mus'haf, what should I do then? Well, if you're using it because you are learning, then you're doing great. And you should start experimenting with switching to a regular mus'haf to see if you can manage, and gradually make the transition to any mus'haf of your liking. If you're using this mus'haf but you are not actually learning while you can, then it is really time to start, even with one rule at a time, since purely depending on the color codes may not guarantee a proper recitation. So if you're able to do better, you should. And if you are using it but unable to learn or do better, then you're doing the best you can, and alhamdulillah that there is something like this exists to help you do good. And finally, if you were thinking about using this mus'haf, then I recommend watching this lesson first. Thanks for watching. If you want to start learning the tajweed, then start with this playlist. And also, don't forget to check my latest book about tajweed and download the companion app. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.